Welcome everyone to another. Well, it's a mixed animated, mixed live action movie. I don't remember the date of release. It was in the obviously in the 90s. It was made.
The Pagemaster. It was released on November 23rd, 1994.
Yeah, basically, yeah, it's called The Pagemaster, starring Macaulay Culkin, and him being thrown in an enchanting adventure about reading.
Patrick Stewart?
Yes, but he's not alone. He's joined by Christopher Lloyd.
Oh, you think that's bad?
Patrick Stewart, Leonard Nimoy, and Frank Welker.
Bill Hartman.
Yes, this movie has a fantastic cast. Christopher Lloyd too.
Yeah, Christopher Lloyd. Yeah, he's actually in the live action part.
And Leonard Nimoy.
And I think Christopher Lloyd also voices the animated wizard, doesn't he?
Yes, because it's we'll get to that. Don't worry. Well, anyway. Yeah, start before the 20th Century Fox logo, and you should be fine. It's a short movie anyway. All right, everyone ready?
Yes.
Ready.
3, 2, 1, click.
I actually
yes,
saw... Okay.
It's also boasting a soundtrack made by James Horner.
James who?
James Horner, the composer of The Land Before Time, An American Tail. One of the most beloved composers from the late 80s and 90s.
Yeah, he sadly he passed away
in a plane crash.
Okay, you're probably asking, what's the story behind this movie? Who wanted?
Ted Turner wanted to teach
I honestly
children.
don't know. The first time I literally watched it, I thought, oh, it's another Don Bluth movie that just snagged into Fox and everything. But no, it wasn't.
Turner
Joe Johnston.
Yeah, two directors, Joe Johnston and Maurice Hunt.
And of course, this is produced by Turner Pictures, aka Ted Turner was the producer for this. Okay, basically for context, for those who didn't grow up watching cartoons in the 90s, back in the 90s, Ted Turner was in this thing where he felt like, hold on, I love this cue.
Yeah,
good old James Horner.
The score is really good.
Yeah, James Horner, man.
James Horner. I've yet to hear a James Horner soundtrack that I have not loved.
Later on, we actually get a song that reeks 80s.
This is 1994.
Yeah, I know, right?
You know what's weird? For a movie that wasn't, strictly Warner Brothers trying to be Disney or, typical Disney animation, this movie's animation is gorgeous.
Yeah, the animation is good, but I don't think it's on par with the movies that Disney was making at the time.
No. Well, that's what I mean, Pedro Amico. For a movie that, wasn't Warner Brothers trying to be Disney or, typical Disney animation, it looked great.
Yeah, I guess.
Most movies that weren't animated by Warner Brothers or Disney at the time tended to be...
Here's our main star, Macaulay Culkin.
Macaulay Culkin.
No smoking sound on his bed. What?
What the fuck is that? Anyway,
high voltage.
I'm a huge fan. Yeah, here's the interesting thing. I actually went to see this movie in the theater back when it first came out for specific reasons. One, I'm still actually a huge fan of the first two Home Alone movies. And okay, it's a cartoon. It's a movie about the Home Alone kid going into a cartoony world. So obviously, for a kid living in the 90s, that looked like an amazing movie to watch. So I went to see. So I asked my mom to take me, and I kind of almost fell asleep watching it.
First time I remember seeing this was on Cartoon Network. Really.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, guys, guess
I
what?
had the VHS of this movie.
Okay, guys, guess what? Patrick Stewart, Whoopi Goldberg, and Leonard Nimoy had in common.
You mean involving this movie or
in general?
Oh, Dweebs, can you tell me the name of actors for the two parents?
Ed Begley Jr. and Mel Harris.
Never heard of them, but that guy looks like, he just sprayed some painting on his hair, clearly.
Yeah.
Anyway, Jeff, I was just going to say, Whoopi Goldberg was actually in Star Trek along with Patrick Stewart and Leonard Nimoy.
Oh!
Anyway, yeah.
What's your guest star?
She was mostly guest starring in some episodes of Next Generation, yeah.
So yeah, the main conflict of this movie is the fact that the father of his family wants his son to basically, grow a pair. But the problem is that Macaulay Culkin's character is like literally obsessed with statistic
And
that,
books.
especially
No, not books. Sorry, statistics.
statistic that especially ones
And
that involves
fear.
danger and everything.
You see, everybody. This was back in
afraid
the.
of everything.
You see, everybody. This was back in the day where Hollywood writers didn't know how to write nerds properly. They figured that nerds are just kids who always wear dorky glasses and are obsessed with everything that involves maths.
Don't they still do that?
Actually, Pedro, he's not trying to go for nerd. Surprisingly, no. What he's going for is a kid who is literally terrified by statistics.
And the problem is that
Actually, I think you're
not
confusing Joe. He's supposed to be.
Are
He's
trying-
terrified of the outside and of adventures and shit. Not so much.
No,
He's
no.
outside now.
Yeah. No, Pedro. No, his character is that he's terrified by literally everything that has a chance of hurting him.
Yeah.
Oh, that, yeah. Well, yeah, okay, yeah, no, but he uses but he uses his mathematical
But
thinking
in that
to
case,
figure
then,
it out
shouldn't he
anyway.
in that case, then, shouldn't he be afraid of his own body?
Anyway,
Oh,
okay,
that-
for those who don't. Oh,
Here's the classical 90s quirky moments.
they got Macaulay Culkin. Might as well get him to beat the crap out of some adult, I guess.
Some furniture.
Anyway, yeah. For those who didn't grow up in the 90s, back in the 90s, Ted Turner had this thing where I guess he decided for some reason that it was his role to educate kids. Because he made Captain Planet, which tried to educate us on the environment and gang violence of all things and AIDS. And this was another attempt of him to try to educate us by making a movie that tries to teach kids about how good it is to read books and how you should not remain at home and whatever.
Grow out of your fear, I guess.
Yeah.
It's not like we already had Reading Rainbow for this.
But here's the problem. They done it in such a bad way, at least for this intro, because the parents are helping in the worst way possible.
Let me just do a little bit of research.
Get it? Because he's afraid, so he's gonna. And yeah,
Hi, generic suburb.
but here's the interesting thing. Turns out he actually apparently has good reasons to be afraid because the moment he gets out of his house, every single thing starts trying to kill him, as we're going to see in a moment.
And not just that, he conveniently runs in those good quality 90s generic one-dimensional bowleys.
TG Timer.
Like, Jesus, I really, every single time I'm baffled that this was a thing, that people used to write bullies like that. I was like, really?
Yeah, remember, Teo. This is 90s writing, where in the 90s writing, every single character that's not a geek automatically makes fun of everyone who's a geek. It's in their blood, basically.
Okay, guys. Basically, what I was going to
And
say.
now God is trying to kill him.
Yeah.
I have to wonder, what kind of parent sends their kid on a bicycle down a path that clicks them in the middle of a street?
I was gonna say, if this was a Turner movie, why don't Warner Brothers distribute it? But then I did some research and I found out that the whole Time Warner Turner thing didn't happen until 1996.
Now he's
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yep, that's right.
Don't
This
worry,
was the
Culkin.
real moment
I'm
before
doing
Warner
a
Brothers
favor. I'm
Ted
killing
Turner,
you before you turn into a drug addict.
join forces.
yeah.
Yeah, Macaulay Culkin is the prototypical child actor who went off the deep end.
And he has
Seriously.
the right, yeah.
There were two particular. Well, the sad part is that it's not even a case of Edward Furlong, because Edward Furlong showed off in Terminator 2. There was actually great potential to be a great actor. The problem is, of course, well, yeah, child actor thingy.
It's like there's only two kinds of child actors: the ones that go off the deep end, and the ones that go on to have not that remarkable careers, but still have careers or something.
Like Elijah Joel Osment.
Okay, seriously. Like,
Okay. The third kind is rare.
Not really, actually. Quite a few child actors go on to be swell.
Well,
So,
Ellen Page was a child actress, and she turned out
Well, it's
fine.
Christian Bale as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And let's not forget the guy who plays
All right,
Zoom.
everybody, and now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the library of Mr. Christopher Pedophile Lloyd. Yes, in here he plays a pedophile.
Oh.
Well, that's the only explanation I give. Especially for the fact that when you really get down to it, no one else is in this
Maybe
fucking at the moment.
they know about this guy, so they decided to stay the fuck away.
But how about all the college students that need to do their fucking research?
The colleges already have their own libraries.
Depends.
This seems to be your generic suburban town, but it's like your standard afternoon, and fucking no one is here. Line. Oh, fine.
Joe, could you have told him to do that line sooner? Speaking of, okay, I'm glad that films like this at least have a guy who is experienced with live action to direct a live action part and not get an animation guy and force him to turn to live action. Because have you guys seen that trailer for Monster Truck?
Oh, Dwibs, don't even get me started on
Monster Trucks.
It's from Chris Wedge.
Chris, calm down, Chris.
That one's done by Chris Wedge, who's mostly an animator director at Blue Sky Studios.
What the fucking fuck?
Dwibs, don't even get me started on.
Is he practicing for his role as the Klingon guy in
Rockadoodle.
Star Trek 3?
On what? Sorry,
Rockadoodle.
Rockadoodle.
Don Bluth himself directed the live action parts in that movie, and it shows.
Don't have one what?
Okay.
A library
card. Yes, Reeves, back in the day you used to needed them.
That's one of the main reasons
you
why I was
still
so.
kind of do need a library card if you want to check books out.
Yeah, but if I recall, everything these days is automized on computers and everything.
Not necessarily, and you still need the library card code. But
Well,
yeah,
at least
some digital books.
at least Christopher Lloyd has done some good stuff for games.
Oh,
King's
Christopher
Quest.
Lloyd has done plenty of great stuff.
Yeah.
And he also reprised his role as Dr. Brown for the Telltales Back in the Future games.
Back to the Future, you mean?
Yeah, Back to the Future, sorry.
Back in the Future sounds like a sitcom.
Yes.
Back in the Future.
Yes, let's go into the creepy library.
The only phone is in the middle of the library, not, on the, secretary's desk or anything.
So, Tio,
Oh.
basically, if Macaulay Culkin goes into a shadow, he'll get eaten by the vast and
No,
large.
Dwibs, he'll just get turned into a cartoon.
Basically, there's a Doctor Who story where there's this giant planet that's basically one big library.
Yeah,
but it was
and
overtaken.
there are creatures who eat by only when we're in shadows.
Yeah, but if you go in the shadows, you get eaten by invisible piranhas.
Yes. That's Doctor Who's logic for you.
Yeah.
And believe me, it's played for seriousness.
Ice cream.
Also, Lloyd should have, Chris is also a prick because he could have, accompanied the kid because this place is huge and it's his first time here.
It's not like he has anything better to do.
No one else is here.
Aside from maybe, advise his parents.
Okay, unless the character can actually
The more I analyze this movie, the more creepy it starts to be.
Unless the character can actually see the film crew, then there's only him and Culkin here.
And now, I give you the tapestry of foreshadowing.
Dumbledore?
You wish, Dwibs, you wish. This character is nowhere near as interesting.
Yeah, I guess I'll let you see.
Believe me, that character is stupid, and the best thing is that Macaulay Culkin is gonna call him out.
Tell. Question. By stupid, you mean a fucking asshole?
Yeah, and ineffective.
Wow, these pictures.
Okay, see, here's the problem right there. All of this, as you can probably see, those are all references to famous books, like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I'm guessing this is Lord of the Rings, maybe, I don't know.
Harry Potter didn't start till 97.
Yeah, Merlin, yeah.
Ow.
Yeah, Merlin.
What?
But yeah, the
Round
point...
and round she goes. Where she'll stop? Up
Yeah, and
nose.
now, Reeves, Macaulay Culkin will start tripping balls. Not even kidding.
So is this where he starts to hear an animated Patrick Stewart now?
Not
No.
just that.
Wait
Reeves,
for it, Reeves. It'll come later.
We need a method to transition into the cartoon format.
Just wait for it, Dwibs. You'll see him when he shows up.
Yeah.
See, the big
all
problem. Okay, I'm gonna start bringing up.
There we go.
I'm gonna start bringing up my while this is going on. I was throwing up my main problem with this movie. Okay, you want to try to introduce kids to these books and try to get them to be curious to read the books. Fine, that's cool. The problem is that they just show us random scenes from those books without any context. So there's no actual okay, there's this character there. Go read about him.
Oh, this 90s CGI.
Why not show me?
So
Why not show me exactly why it's cool? Instead, no, it's just show me scenes that have no context and I don't know what the fuck's going on.
God. Jesus Christ.
Reading Rainbow.
yes, the painting is even melting and he's chasing him. Why?
Because
everything in his world is dick to this poor kid.
Paintings are dicks to humans.
Look out! That paint will turn you two-dimensional. Well, more than you already are.
Here we go.
I do wonder how a kid would react in this situation. Paint comes, turns you into a cartoon.
So, Christopher Lloyd, aren't you not worried that there's a lot of cartoony ink in your library consuming?
If the never-ending stories taught me anything,
And
librarians
yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with Eds here. Yeah, that's another thing that immediately turned me off from the movie right when I got to this part. The animated Macaulay Culkin looks creepy as fuck.
And yes, Dweebs, roll credits. This guy, again, is voiced by Christopher Lloyd. It's pretty much implied that it's the librarian's avatar or something.
See, here's the one problem. This is even as a kid, I was going, "What's up with Macaulay's lips?" Like seriously, what the fuck was the animator thinking? Like, I mean, Macaulay Culkin's lips aren't, don't really stand out in any way. So why did he draw him like that? I don't get it.
You know what's sad?
What?
In terms of film voice roles, this is probably his best one from what I've heard. It's not Food Fight.
really?
Well,
To watch more
it
movies
was
with Christopher
funny as Rasputin and Anastasia until he started singing.
The only the only time he was genuinely enjoyable, it was to me at least, is in the Home Alone movies, and that was mostly John
And
Hughes
very
writing.
good, he just dumps him around on the library and said, "Good luck, find your own, find the exit." But in order to do, you'll have to get good.
Well, okay. Allow me to quote what he has. His actual line is, "You have to face 3 tests: horror,
Adventure and
fantasy." Okay, so yeah,
And horror.
this is our plot. Christopher Lloyd is an asshole that throws kids into adventures without their consent.
So he has to face The Shining.
And here's the telephone. How convenient.
Where there can be an adventure, and Lord of the Rings.
Sure.
We're sorry. You seem to be trapped in an alternate dimension, in which case we have no means to even exist. Please hang
Also,
up
that
and try
book is
again.
completely blank.
Please hang up and don't call again.
Oh, here we go.
There's he is, Patrick Stewart.
Patrick, did you read the script, Patrick? Then again, you've been in so many
Why
shitty
the
Star
fuck
Trek
they
movies.
give him this kind of
Patrick,
role?
is there no movie that you'll say no to, Patrick?
Like, Patrick Stewart doesn't really seem to fit this kind of character.
Not really at all.
Like,
I meant
if they gave him something related to sci-fi, or like something.
Well,
related
actually,
to Asimov,
that can be explained by.
I wouldn't say
okay.
he's restricted to sci-fi.
No, I know, Jova, trust me, I played Castlevania Lords of Shadow, he's fucking amazing as Zobek in those games.
I can explain that. See, this is a Ted Turner production, so I can also explain that. See, the thing about Ted Turner is that he loved getting celebrity voices for pretty much as many characters as he could, even if because it didn't fit them. The same thing in Captain Planet, where there were celebrity playing the villains up the wall. Pretty much every villain in that show was played by some celebrity. They even got
go on.
they got Meg Ryan. Actually forgot. I have to check back again. But yeah, they got plenty of celebrities. Trust me.
When it comes to Patrick Stewart in this movie, I think he does just fine. But my God, is it surreal? I mean, he doesn't usually do a voice like this often.
With a pirate accent of anything.
Patrick Stewart as a pirate.
Honestly, it was only really a matter of time, if you ask me, when it comes to
So there
Stewart.
you go, guys. Patrick Stewart, he can play a Starfleet captain, a pirate, and a professor with mind powers.
Yes.
It's only scratching the surface. But, yeah. If I can give the A-list actors any credit, I get the feeling that reading a script of this probably is a lot more fun to read to actually make a movie of.
Yeah.
Because when you think about it, this
Yes.
plays out more like a story. In fact, when you think about it, if this were a book, it would be a cool crossover between the stories when you think about it.
Yeah.
Here's another thing, Dweebs. Even the books are fucking dicks to this poor kid. In order to convince him climbing the stairs, here's a giant squid.
Yeah. Allow me to
No,
add.
wait.
Okay.
Opening books that make things come out of them.
Yes.
Some
and
of the
believe me,
Goosebumps
Dweebs,
movie did.
So yeah, allow me to
We-
add
we-
to what Jovas just said, which is in fact another main problem I have with this. The two main problems I have, the one where the books are presented without context, so they didn't really get me interested to read the books as a kid.
Oh,
Second, the characters. The characters in this movie are either annoying or just flat out boring. Like there's not a single interesting, well-written character in this movie.
And yes, Dweebs, that's Whoopi Goldberg.
If I can sum this up best, I'd say the main number one issue of this movie is without a doubt the direction, because take away the annoying characteristics or whatnot, and you have at the very least a story that's interesting and, like I said, feels like a story you would read, and one that doesn't really have the annoying mannerisms.
That's one thing I like about the Goosebumps movie. Having the whole books thing makes sense because you can't really make a story based on one Goosebumps book. So you use all of them.
In fact, come to think of it, was this movie based on a book? Well,
I don't
aside
know.
from the
I'm
obvious.
pretty sure. No, it's inspired by pretty much every book ever made because it's
Well, you know what I mean. I mean, it was based
no,
off
no,
of
it's a completely original story.
Yeah.
So yeah, in that case, yeah, I stand by my main point. This movie feels literally like something I should be reading as a book and then making up the characters for myself, because that's kind of what this feels like. No offense, but it sounds like kind of like a preteen's imagination as they
Ow.
go by off of it.
Honestly, the thing is, again, since you mentioned book, the writing is even more important. Like the characters are just so flat. Like for example, for example, to give you an idea of the brilliant comedic writing this movie has, the webs puns on books. That's it. Fiction. They big words on the word fiction. Puns on the word. I'm a book, honey. I can't read. See, get it? Because they're books, and that's pretty much the humor of this movie. Puns on books.
Ha! Check me out. Oh, wait,
Get it?
no, I think
Get
it's
it? It's
serious.
checking the book out because we're in a library.
Also, I'm pretty sure that Culkin is getting one of his wrists torn off by the fucking hook. Also, magical farts. Charming.
Oh, yeah, guys.
Here's another thing of this movie that
Oh,
I never
hey,
got.
Hound of the Baskervilles.
There's a lot of bits where the movie tries to do some kind of adult humor, but then stops like halfway through.
Hey guys, speaking of Patrick Stewart,
Oh boy.
here in the UK, he actually voiced the adverts for Final Fantasy 12.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
I forget. Wiz, were there actual hounds in the Hounds of Baskerville?
Yes,
I
there is one, and yes, it's actually real.
I haven't read the book.
There is a whole story behind
have
it and everything, but
Although
I'm
I have
not
seen
spoiling
the
it.
Sherlock 2010 adaptation of that. It's funny because Whoopi Goldberg would be in a much better animated movie in that year.
Yep. In fact, wasn't almost everyone in this movie in a better movie the same year?
Well,
Probably.
Patrick Stewart was in Star Trek Generations.
Generation Generations, yeah. But hey, didn't the movie after that come out to the same? Oh wait, no, that came out a later year.
The First Contact was 96, Jova.
Oh my god, I don't like cartoon Culkin's face.
Yeah, you think that's
Fighting.
bad? Hey, Dwibs, are you ready to see this movie make waste of the awesome and brilliant Frank Welker?
Oh no.
There we go. So they're gonna have him voice
No,
another
Frank
bad
Welker
character.
voices horror, if I remember correctly, and he's
Yes,
annoying as
yes.
fuck.
He's probably the worst
I can't,
character
and
in the
it
entire
pains me to
movie.
say,
Welker at the time, I'm pretty sure
I
at
never
that time
thought.
had-
That's right, Dwibs. That's. Think about this. This movie managed to make Frank Welker annoying.
I mean,
How do you even do that? One of the most beloved voice actors of all time, and
oh, but not only him, Jim Cummings is also in this movie too.
Jim, the new Mel Blanc of his generation, basically.
He's kind of the Mel
here we
Blanc
go.
of everything, almost.
No.
No, he's not.
So yeah, Dweebs, this is the third book companion that Macaulay Culkin is gonna have horror. And as you can see, his gimmick is that he's really, really stupid.
And scared because get it horror.
You know, on the one hand, I guess I can see why they limit it to free, but on the other hand, part of me kind of feels a bit that they're really only focusing on 3 of these, you know, adventure, fantasy, and horror, especially considering how some of them tend to overlap.
Ha, funny. See, even Culkin's like, oh shit, what have I got myself into?
Yeah, well, as long as the paycheck's big enough, I'm sure it'll be worth it.
Probably.
This reminds me of wait, an actor who is usually good but they sound annoying. Who else does that remind me of?
I'm sure there are plenty of
In this,
cases.
yeah, a case where an actor usually sounds good, but in that one case is annoying. Oh yeah, Lanny Manella and Bubsy. So that was 2 years after this. Well, 3 years in my case. So yeah.
So, yeah, basically
Spooky
we're gonna go
fire.
through Horror's World first.
No, just this nice empty house.
With a fireplace brooming and everything.
Don't
Yes.
worry, you're completely and utterly safe.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm sure kids will remember.
hey!
I'm sure kids have studied, you know, the Raven from Edgar Allan Poe at this point.
Yeah.
It's
It makes no sense. They're just showing us random characters and we don't know where these characters come from. So here's the thing. Let's
Oh, wait, hold on. First,
Leonard
twist.
Nimoy as Dr. Jekyll.
Spock?
Yes.
Yeah. And I will give this movie credit. It did at least tell us that this is stuck with Mr. Hyde's place earlier on that signpost.
Okay, Joe, but here's the thing. Okay, we know his name. But here's the problem. They just tell us, here's this Mr. Jekyll guy, and he turns into a monster, and that's about it. And then we move on to a different book. Here's my problem. Okay, let's pretend we're kids who have never even heard of Jekyll and Hyde. Okay, there's this Jekyll character, but as far as we can tell, this is just an underdeveloped character in a movie that we just got bored of, and even the movie moved on quickly. So what motivation? I mean, if they actually at least told us that this is from a specific book, maybe that would work. But what is a kid even going to think?
Yeah, I agree. It's like, well, this is like if a movie tried to put in product placement, but somehow managed to completely fail at actually pushing a product.
Food fight?
You know, well, no. Food Fight actually did get in.
You know what they could have done, actually? You know what they could have done? They could
this
have...
one, though, doesn't even tell us the stories, really. I mean, okay,
Pedro?
Oh, let Jova finish. Go ahead, Jova.
basically, they show us part of the stories technically, but we're never really told explicitly what the stories are, except in some cases like
Also,
the
can we get behind the logic of this?
Go ahead.
Dr. Jekyll just invited this kid in his house and immediately after used his potion to transform.
For
What
no
a fucking
reason.
Dick. What a dick.
Wow.
Should be dead.
Oh, that is one of the most trippiest transformations I've ever seen.
Not just that. You know what they could have done, Jova? They could have done what they could have done instead of him being traveling through this generic fantasy land that just happens to have places from the books. They could have just had him literally go from book to book. Like, okay, now we have to go to Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. Okay, now we have to go to Moby Dick. If they specifically made the kid go from book to book in a visual, clear way, then the kids would actually become interested in the books.
I agree.
This is just again. I'll have to steal one of Doug's jokes. Stop trying to educate us, Ted Turner. You're not good at it. Wow, Mr. Hyde is kind of a klutz, isn't he?
Yeah.
I'll say. I mean, I know he wasn't the smartest Jekyll, but come on.
Please tell me he dies.
Also, apparently Dr. Jekyll's house has a huge basement or something.
Dude, just go and help him. Take the chains off. It's not hard.
Alright, here we go.
You know, again, it's like I
Okay.
said, like if they at least made the characters interesting, then this movie would be more fun to watch. But no, they're not. The kids aren't. The humor's not funny. The
look,
characters'
there's-
personalities are flat.
Hey, look, The Shining.
Ghost stories. Look,
Yeah, but also beyond
a book
fiction.
literally called Ghost Stories. There you go, dude. There's the book that inspired the anime.
I'm surprised they include The Shining.
By the way,
Hey,
dudes,
kid.
get it? Ghost Stories because the book is literally a ghostly book. Get it?
Hey, kids, interested in happy, whimsical horror tales? Go and check out The Shining. You're in for a treat.
Charming.
What are you even running from at this point?
Also, closing the door with ghosts that can pass through. Just marvelous.
Wow.
Get it?
Of course they do.
Get it? Even books have spines! Huh?
Again, the message we're trying to give to grow out of your fear, it's baffling.
And they're pulling
Also,
a
this is the second time this movie is trying to treat The Hunchback of Notre Dame as an horror book. Fuck you. Just whatever.
Guys, I'm bored again. But it's just like in the first time I saw it.
Hey, Libs, did you enjoy that bit from Leonard Nimoy?
Yeah.
No, not
Because we
really.
won't be hearing from him until like near the very
And
end.
it's all you get for the horror section.
Yeah. You see what I mean? Yeah, that's another thing. The characters never stay in one location for more than like 5 minutes, which basically makes every single location they go into this movie completely rushed and underdeveloped, and it's not really memorable.
And now somehow they can automatically just
And
Go
now
over to
King's
Adventure.
the King's Quest free stairway? I don't... What?
Yeah, well, the background looks a lot like from a Sierra Adventure game.
Yeah, we just veered off into a King's Quest game, everybody. And even the music sounds like King's Quest.
But yeah, I mean, geez, to turn, I'll give Captain America. I mean, I'll give Captain Planet some credit. When that film had its guest stars, it used them in good length. This one, oh well, except for maybe these few guest stars. Enjoy these few guest stars for this one little bitty scene.
Yeah.
Also, tiny
Somebody
nitpick,
do something interesting.
also tiny nitpick, but this movie is going to be about Macaulay Culkin's character, facing a series and
Yeah.
doing that.
Again,
In
Joe,
that case,
it's
wouldn't
like
that
I
make-
told. The message we're trying to convey about Macaulay Culkin growing out of his fear and become, growing a fucking bear.
Hold on.
Yeah,
It's not
wouldn't it have made more
badly.
sense?
We'll bring that up when we get to the ending, because it's in the ending and it becomes more clear.
My nitpick is, wouldn't it have made more sense for horror to have been the last one then, when you think about it?
Yeah,
Probably.
yeah, that makes sense. But again, we're the people who wrote this movie have no idea how to
Yeah,
make a
it's-
movie
Oh,
interesting.
Ho,
It
yo,
It should have
ho, a
actually been
Culkin's
the
life for
reversal
me.
or
Debs are thinking of a
fantasy
more interesting
represents-
movie.
should've-
Come back to this shitty one.
It should have been done in the reverse order because fantasy represents and childhood, adolescence, and horror, adulthood.
Oh,
Oh boy, here we go. And now we're into Moby Dick.
Yeah, now we're in Moby Dick for no reason.
Okay,
In fact, do they even say that Captain Ahab's name? Do they?
they just
Okay.
mentioned his
Yeah,
name.
they
actually.
did.
Oh, okay,
In
never
the
mind. Sorry,
adventure
sorry.
book,
Then
and
I must
that's
have missed it.
And now
Oh boy, here we go.
everything turns red for no reason.
Again,
What the fuck?
again. Doug nailed
Red Sky
again.
show now.
Yeah, again, Doug Walker nailed this one. Animators, you have to be more clever about your lighting schemes. This is a bit too much.
Whoa, Ted Turner saying damn in a kid's movie?
There you go.
That's pretty hardcore for you.
So you're not going to
That's all you
explain why Captain Ahab wants to get the whale?
Yeah.
You know,
I'm pretty sure that in the original tale he actually won.
Yeah, that too.
wait, who actually won?
Captain
Ahab.
Ahab.
Really? I'm pretty sure that he ends up strangled by the rope pulled by the whale.
Crunch.
Yeah, did he? I never actually
I
read Moby
forgot.
Dick, but I've only
Well,
heard of
then
it.
again,
To
it
me,
tends to
it's been
vary.
it's been too long since I've actually read it. I read it
And I've
when I was,
never
12.
actually
You
read
know
it, but I've just heard
guys, you
it.
know what's hilarious?
I know the
What?
basic stuff, but
2 years after this, First Contact came out, and that references Moby Dick a lot.
Yeah. Basically, in the classic story, the way it ends is like Captain Ahab stabs Moby Dick, but in the process ends up strangled on a rope that Moby Dick pulls him on. Granted, now some movies do change that up a bit, and I'm honestly okay with it. I like either ending.
Oh no, we're halfway through the movie and 2 characters died. Oh my
oh
god.
no!
Sorry,
I'm
we couldn't
sorry.
afford Whoopi Goldberg and Frank Welker anymore.
Too bad I don't
Aren't you sad,
care.
babes?
No, I'm not really, because they were kind of annoying.
No,
Especially
it's not true. It's
especially
impossible.
horror, for as much as it pains me to say it.
Also,
Well-
I don't get it. Is this particular scene trying to,
Okay, Mr. Writer.
having the moral of a kid trying to, growing out of the coping of someone dear dead? I don't know. I
I
don't
think
even.
it has to do with the fear of it.
Losing
Oh,
people.
speaking of
You
fear,
know, okay. Filmmakers, storytelling 101. In order for a scene of a character dying to be emotional, we have to actually care about those characters. In order for that, the characters have to have personalities. That I know it's kind of hard for you, but try better next time. Not all sharks are in the. You mean the pirates? Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Also, why the fuck aren't the sharks even doing anything? They're just circling his boat. I'm pretty sure they could have turned that boat to shreds.
it's a thing some sharks like to do until the alpha shows up. That is, if they're in a pack.
I guess.
Totally trustworthy.
Ha 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 ha.
And yes, one of these pirates is played by Ed Gilbert.
Who?
Ed Gilbert.
I don't think they know who he is, Joe, sorry.
Yeah. Oh, I guess it makes sense since he's, yeah, he's apparently a typical one in live action and voice roles. Let's see.
Okay, also is another huge problem. Now we are supposed to be in Treasure Island. Okay, the book Treasure Island. The problem is they got pretty much everything wrong with what's supposed to be the story. Because, whatever. Just
Oh, wow, Ed Gilbert's been in a lot of stuff. He was also Smee in Peter Pan and in the...
we'll get to I'll get to that the rest when we get to that. For now, here's also another bonus for you, Dweebs. Jim Cummings voicing I forgot the name, Long John Silver way before Treasure Planet.
Oh, but not only that, we've got Phil Hartman on board too as the Slender Pirate.
I kind of wish I was watching Treasure Planet right now.
Me too.
So let's see. We have Jim Cummings as Long John Silver, and we have
Yeah,
Phil
that's
Hartman
one
as
movie
Apollo.
that actually I think does a good job getting people interested in where that story came from. Just saying.
Yeah. And here's the main problem what they're trying to represent this book. The problem is in the book they're trying to imply basically that it's just about the pirates and everything. The problem is in the book the mutiny of pirates and Long John Silver happens way later. It's really contained and it's not at all like that.
Not to mention, everybody. One of the cool things about Long John Silver is that even though he's a pirate, he secretly has a heart of gold, and in particular showing to his relationship with Jim Hawkins. So basically, you're incredibly misrepresenting one of the greatest characters in pirate fiction history. Good job.
On that matter, where even is Jim Hawkins, you may be thinking? Nowhere to be seen in this movie.
Yep.
So,
basically,
you know,
Macaulay Culkin's character just took his place.
So not only are you showing us things out of context, you're not even showing them properly.
Apparently they're pulling a Kingdom Hearts and Kingdom Hearts 2 where Macaulay Culkin takes the place of Jim Hawkins.
Yeah, probably. But that's stupid still.
Also, another point, Phil Hartman is a random pirate.
Wait. When has Kingdom Hearts done Treasure Planet?
No, he's trying.
No.
Jova is saying
fills
in the same old style. Yeah.
Ah, okay.
But yeah, again, why would you even have Phil Hartman of all people just play a random person in the audience there?
Because,
Land home. Alright, where are they?
Well, obviously
There's
the title of Treasure Island.
You know, for a movie that's trying to be a fantasy adventure and shit like that, this movie has no sense of...
it's
okay.
Jim Cummings, dude, same voice actor.
Yeah, for a movie that's trying to be a fantasy adventure, this movie has no sense of wonder or atmosphere at all. It's just kind of moves along. Good.
Oh.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yes.
Are you fucking kidding?
We're doing this, yes. They're
How
pirates.
did you even find that island with a map like that?
They're pirates and they can't follow treasure maps. That makes sense, right?
No,
That treasure map is awfully vague.
I don't blame them for not being able to follow the map because that map is dumb. Unless it's a riddle, which I'm guessing that piece of paper really is. In which case, though, they should have probably have guessed that from the start because of how vague it is.
And yes, that's the problem. This part actually happens in the book, but there's a very good justification behind it, and that's all tied to the missing elements that are misrepresented here. So, again, good job, movie.
Good job.
John Server?
Accent.
Oh, okay, now I understand what you guys were saying. Yeah, Macaulay Culkin is supposed to be the Jim Hawkins of this scenario, but... No, sorry, Jim Hawkins was interesting.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Jim Hawkins, the main character of Treasure Island. Or Treasure Planet, if you're watching the Disney version.
Or that Muppets movie.
Yeah, Muppet Treasure Island. I love Muppet Treasure Island. That's one movie we should watch one of these days, because I love that movie.
That was actually my answer to Treasure Island.
Yeah. That's the sad part. That movie, which is a parody, Muppet Treasure Island represents the characters better, and that movie is supposed to be a parody of Treasure Island. I don't.
Well, I mean, despite it being a parody, that movie at least got pretty much all the important details down point.
Yeah. And that's the sad part. It's a Muppet version of a movie, and it represents the characters better. That's sad, really.
Also, yeah, dweebs, both horror and fantasy are still alive. Why and how? Never explained.
And they just pulled the trick the pirates by pretending
they're
you're some
apparently
dead
sponges.
thing from Treasure Island.
Do they drink themselves out? I don't know.
I'm Frank Welker and I'm funny.
I'm pretty sure their hats would just come off their heads if that happened.
Punch. Whack.
You know, Ted Turner.
Remind me again, Teo, why you like this movie.
I blinded by nostalgia. I can definitely see it didn't age well.
You know, so let me get this straight, Ted Turner. So let me get this straight, Ted Turner. You're willing to actually have the word of all things, paying homage to Moby Dick, yet you can't seem to really have any semblance of violence for a swashbuckling action scene. God forbid we have any sense of peril in this movie.
No.
Also, this movie is literally saying that in order to grow you feel you had to menace an adult with a, sharp weapon. Fucking nice, Ted Turner. Just... I learned my lesson here. Next time I'll just menace someone with a fucking knife.
Well, there you go. Long John Silver complimented Richard Tyler on being a hard man.
Just... and just like that, lives on.
I could use a bottle of rum right now.
Or cider.
That's also the problem. This movie is too short for what he's trying to tell.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously. I mean, ignoring the fact of having to cut down for pacing, this movie is short.
Also, I also had to point out
there's the explanation. He figured out he could float, apparently. But there you guys, it turns out the book survived because they could float.
Anyway,
Nice.
I also had to point one thing. In the VHS, I don't know if it happens also to you guys or was just a problem of...
I only saw this in the theater.
No.
Before
The
today.
thing is, when I got the VHS, okay, it came with two things: a small shorts of the Flintstones, which didn't matter nothing because it was just his own thing, and an actual trailer for this movie. The problem is that the trailer shows a scene that it's clearly not in the movie, and I was like, where the hell is that scene from? It's about apparently the Frankenstein monster rising from the ground in the horror section, but it's nowhere to be seen in the movie. And for years I was like, did my copies was like the uncut version or something?
Mm-hmm.
So no, apparently Ted Turner just cut a scene that's never got involved again. Okay.
Yeah, it's because that's actually not at all uncommon. Some trailers do use deleted scene footage. It's actually a very good strategy to avoid having to spoil plot points. Use deleted scenes that are not going to be in the movie. When it's an actual cool deleted scene that especially in a movie that's this bad, that it kind of can backfire. Gee, aren't you a beacon of positivity?
Yeah.
I mean, come on, kid. You've had, like, two perilous adventures that you've managed to come out
Hey Dwibs, can you believe the amazing sense of wonder and adventure of Pagemaster?
No.
No.
Well, again, in order for me to believe something, it has to be there.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Now I remember. Basically, he's, all sad because he lost his library card, and without that, he can't check anyone out, and if he can't check anyone out, he can't get out.
And he cannot also bring back the book with us, which is the entire point of why the book are accompanying him.
Yep.
Also, this particular track that we're listening right now sounds a lot like a Land Before Time track. This sounds a lot like a Land Before Time track.
Same
Also,
composer.
according to TV tropes, apparently this movie is really, really loved in Japan. What?
Wow.
How so?
Same country that apparently loves Turnabout Big Top.
Japan is probably multiple times that they have shitty taste. Also, Gulliver reference out of fucking nowhere.
Yes, because that... Oh, look, guys! Little people trapping horror through wires. That totally means I should go to the library and watch and read Gulliver. Wait, what's Gulliver?
Gulliver is a character from Gulliver's Travels.
Thank you, Dwibs, because this movie didn't sure as fuck didn't bother to tell me.
I haven't even read Gulliver.
Context, movie! You need context! It's not hard!
I guess that's the
context
problem.
you speak
He's
of?
really operating only on fan service and alienating from newcomers. Like, think.
Which is, remember, Theo, this movie was made to get kids.
No, this time I actually agree with you. It's not helping newcomers in this case.
I get the
not
feeling
to
that
actually, Theo, here's an interesting thing, Theo. Even if it was aimed at people who already read the books, it misrepresents the books anyway, so even fans of the books will not like it.
Just like I told, yeah.
I get the feeling that Ted Turner really had it only in mind, like, well, just, hey, try and teach kids this more involving books and try and use the familiar stories to suck people who had read them already in. Oh, yeah, happy ending.
And now, Dweebs, a 1994 movie will give you an 80s music video.
Yeah.
So,
But wasn't 1994 the year when 80s stuff began to become uncool?
Well, I guess some people didn't want it to let go. That's actually funny.
Honestly,
Okay.
honestly, I don't think it's funny at all. Sorry. The only joke I remember.
Well, it made me think Patrick Stewart cross-dressing, and
The only joke I remember, the only joke I did like was the one that even Doug pointed out in his review. That I'd like to curl up with a good book. That's the only line in that movie that actually made me smirk. Generic James Horner type Celine Dion style song.
You know,
that's
Celine Dion even sing the song.
No, it's not that, Joe. It's back
Celine Dion.
Yeah, you see, Joe, back in the 90s, Joe. No, you see, Joe, back in the 90s, James Horner.
I know. I'll go on.
Back in the 90s, whenever James Horner did a music and the theme song from a family movie, it was always something in this exact style.
Okay, I get that. Just wondering if Celine Dion was also his usual one, or I'm guessing you're just referring to a special 1997.
Yeah, and like he even did it in Avatar with you see, what was it called? The Avatar song. What the fuck is that? Oh yeah, I See You. That's it. That was the name of the song. It's I See You by Leona Lewis.
Yeah, I guess if I can give it credit, it's a song I can at least hum.
Really?
Can you imagine? And the sad part is that
with James Horner's lyrical tunes, they may not be the most some of them are catchy, but they may not be the most meant to be memorable. But they're definitely kind of more atmospheric.
Hey Teo, can you feel the whimsy?
I don't know.
But hey guys, there's more whimsical than Moonrise Kingdom.
That's an accomplishment.
Song anyway. All right,
I create Dwebs. I create things that are more whimsical than Moonrise Kingdom every day when I go to the toilet. So
I'm still wondering how they managed to. I'm still wondering how they managed to get right from an island into fantasy land.
Yeah, now Dweebs are in the fantasy section of the library.
And this is the part where one has to earn your house.
Are here now.
And there's the exit. Apparently it's on the top of his fucking tower. Yeah, how did he end up here? Whatever. I don't care.
You know, earlier on when he first
You're
appeared...
not funny, Patrick! Stop it! You're not funny!
Earlier when he first appeared, I thought it was a block of toast or a loaf of bread.
And now everything becomes orange.
Also, Cocker. I'm acting!
Turns out that cave was really a dragon.
A fucking dragon. How so?
How does that even make any sense?
Was that dragon really slumbered for so long?
Oh, yeah, look at this dragon. Yeah, remember the Maleficent dragon form from the Sleeping Beauty? Well, this is where near is cool, because this dragon barely moves.
Well, hey, if it's any consolation, this dragon is also voiced by Frank Welker.
Whatever.
This is the most unimpressive lame dragon ever. You're showing me a fucking dragon, and yet I'm bored.
I've seen lamer.
Well, there's a Dungeons and Dragons dragon.
Yeah.
How convenient.
Oh, hey, a magic carpet.
Wow.
Ow. Yeah, totally not trying to, riding on the tide of Disney.
This
Is
is
this like Pan, where half the dialogue is what?
yeah.
Or like Little Nemo.
This is still going.
Well, Pan can be the 2015 equivalent to Little Nemo, then in that regard.
And cried. Fantasy lost her wand and dropped it.
Too bad I don't care.
Yeah, me here.
Also,
Wow, that's an incredibly fire-resistant carpet.
yeah, and they're treating the like it's the play not funny. Come on, Atlas shrugged.
shrugged.
What?
Ha, get it? He's lifting it up like Atlas has to hold the world up.
I love how even the characters just want to get this over with now. They're like,
Yeah.
Again, everything turns orange again. Just why?
Because Theo, don't question it.
And also, fire doesn't interfere. Holy shit! Another dead. You know, it's
I
like,
have to wonder if
it's
these
like
are
the-
people with...
I actually counted. It's like the third or fourth time we stumble upon on a dead person that's
Yeah.
reduced to a skeleton.
I have to
just-
wonder...
Yes,
Naturally,
please.
you
The end of the movie.
grab-
The end of the movie is in sight. The end of the movie is on sight.
come on.
I have to
Oh,
wonder
these
if those
parts.
dead bodies are literally...
Oh, here we go. I hate this scene.
Yeah, apparently there's supposed to be a romance between these two. They're fucking books, goddammit!
Not just that. It comes up bloody out of nowhere.
Oh, wait, wait,
When have these characters
Hold on.
ever shown any kind of moment together before this?
wait, I think the one good joke is about to pop up.
Yeah, right here.
One other good joke. There's some others I like, but this one stands out.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, I'll give you that.
Tio, you know what this reminds me of?
Yes?
The Scott Uhura romance in Star Trek V. That came out of nowhere too.
Dragon, take your fucking time.
Yes, this dragon is so bored. Do something! Do something, you stupid...
Professor, quick! Use your mind powers on the dragon.
I'll convince him with a puzzle.
No, I meant Professor X, not Layton. You know, that'd be something I'd like to see. Crossover between Professor Layton and X-Men. Roar! I am a big scary dragon.
Yeah, don't give a shit. Sorry, I'll leave you guys the experience points.
But yeah, again, I have to wonder if those dead people are all
Honestly,
people
Theo,
who
this
got
dragon
trapped-
probably only gives 1 XP. Considering how boring it is.
It's one of those monsters, but you know. Don't
Excuse me,
report
Cap.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna steal
Also,
another of Doug's
stealing
jokes.
from the dead. How charming.
Not just that. I'm gonna have to agree with Doug here. I want to know that knight's story. What happened to him? Like,
Yeah. That's exactly what I've been. It's like, well, I have to wonder if these dead people are literally people who got trapped into this book realm failed.
What's he gonna do? Chop his tail off?
You know what would actually cool if we actually referenced, the tale of Siegfried and a dragon actually reenact like that instead of flailing around like an idiot. But no. Whatever, I fucking don't care anymore at this point.
And he should be a cinder.
yeah.
Nah, magical shields.
Yeah, classical magical shield rules, waves.
Although I do have to wonder why the knight failed.
It's a fantasy movie, dude. Just roll with it.
Yeah.
Here would probably.
You're a wizard, Culkin.
No, he's a boar. He's a boar. That's what he is.
And there we go. Macaulay Culkin is dead now.
Da 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 da. Da.
Oh
I guess
look, the dragon has
how I
a
knew,
life.
Yeah, no. Turns out he's not dead because
apparently.
apparently dragons don't digest things.
Well, they do digest stuff eventually, especially if it's copped up as smoke.
And that's how you knew the dragon appreciated my good taste.
Okay, do not fall into that water, mate.
Ow. Yeah, it's actually, gastric juices.
Stomach acid. And
Oh,
stuff.
good, he found her wand, which
Useless.
luckily was
work.
swallowed by the dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Just like
So
you're
now
acting in
what?
this movie.
Yeah, to be fair,
With
I'm gonna
endless options for renewal. With endless options for renewal.
give Culkin some credit for this.
Is
I
that
honestly
skeleton in the acid?
The hell?
Oh, Queen of Hearts. Awful.
No.
But
Sounds
yeah,
fucking
I'm
rough.
gonna give Culkin credit. Honestly, considering what he had to work with, I think he's trying his best here.
No, he is, Joe. But like I said, like when he does have a good and I'm script, like in the Home Alone movies, he can do okay. The problem is that those are probably his only good performances, really, when you think about it, really.
And
Well,
Reeves,
there's
yes,
also
here's how he
Son,
defeat the
and,
dragon in the most gruesome way possible.
Yeah.
This movie really surprises me in how surprising it can be, randomly dark in a matter of seconds.
So just like Hino.
Yeah, except Pino does it in a good way,
Yeah, yeah.
But here is just, it's funny because the dragon dies because he fucking has a beanstalk up his ass.
hey, he's not dead yet. He's chomping through it.
Yeah, no, but now it's gone. We don't see anymore because we're now at the exit.
Oh yeah, that's really.
Yeah,
Huh.
he doesn't pursue it. Oh, he's
Sworn
dead.
the last time. That's really all there is to him. He chomps the beanstalk, doesn't really show any signs of dying, and apparently that's it for him.
Mm-hmm.
I could have sworn last time I saw this there was at least one more bit with the dragon, but
James Horner, you're being so wasted in this.
everyone's being wasted in this.
And here's the exit road Reeves.
Right.
I really like the main theme.
Now, believe me or not, hold on. Yeah, look who's here.
There you go. Dudes. Prepare yourself, dudes, because you're about to get trolled.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh my God, Culkin, please
You're
don't.
trying.
He's trying, but he sucks. Here we go.
Yeah, by fucking luck in some cases. Excuse me, the guy was just searching the fucking phone.
You know, I mean, I like adventures and all, but I expect my life to always be put in danger.
So there,
Hi, Leonard Nimoy.
so there you go. So there you go, dudes. He could have brought us
Oh,
here.
hey, Ahab, you were there for a few seconds.
So there you go, dudes. He just did this because he fucking felt like it.
Not just that, apparently wanted to teach him the lesson of, fucking growing up. Which, I mean, on paper is good, but dude, you fucking killed this kid multiple fucking times.
And apparently, all the characters in the story, yeah, they were all in on it. Even the dragon. Even the dragon. Oh, but it gets even better, because when you think about it, remember, we've seen dead body. Clearly, people have gone in here and have died because of this.
This is
before.
practically animated Jigsaw. Yeah, he's
You
dead.
died.
We all are, kid. We all are.
We're all dead inside.
Please stop, Frank Walker. Please stop.
So there you
Yeah.
go, Dwebs. I hope now you've learned to face your own fears.
No.
Oh, come on, Ribs. Are you telling me that us putting you through dangers galore, having you nearly get killed constantly,
Also more
hasn't
CGI.
told you to face your fears, even getting eaten?
This movie can't even teach. This movie.
And there
How
we
can
go.
it? How can it teach me anything if it keeps? Well, I can't even think of anything at this point.
It's like I said, it's Ted Turner classically focusing more on the moral as opposed to, how to actually convey it properly.
Mm-hmm.
Haha, funny.
Ha.
Ah.
Get it? A spill.
Personal space, Chris. Pretty, please. Fuck you.
My God, there's still a bit of movie left. Like, is most of the rest just credits?
Yes, there is. There's
We have
more.
we have the whole epilogue thing. Oh, so only now you're trying to respect. Dude, he's the only client in your fucking library of the day. Just cut him a slack.
Also, limits on books like that, only 2. I'm pretty sure we didn't have those in the 90s.
Surprisingly enough, my local library, had only a limit for only 1, and we were super dickish about it.
Really?
Yeah, like you only 2 weeks before return.
Yeah. But the whole being only able to take like 2 books thing, I'm pretty sure that we would done away with those kind of limits.
Stop being creepy, Chris, please.
Jesus Christ. Alright, here we go. So now it's time for, to showing... Oh, that also reminds me. Dreams, you know those pesky bullies at the beginning that were taunting him?
Yeah.
They're not they're not here anymore. So basically, the entire time I'm showing who's the best guy ever anymore, it's gone because it's now just need to go to the ramp and that's it. Usually in the 90s movies, like, oh, the bullies watch him and we're like, oh, now he's the super cool kid now. But no, they don't even do this in this movie. Why? Just some choices for this movie baffles me.
Yeah.
Also, nice moral, Ted Turner, teaching kids to do stunts like that.
On dangerous construction sites.
You're sending very mixed messages, Ted.
Yes,
I mean,
he
I know
is.
that's what you usually do, but I just feel the need to point it out.
Or maybe someone got the bike back. Impossible.
Alan.
Hey, that's another movie Joe Johnston directed, so...
Hey.
Yeah.
Huh. What a coincidence.
Also, how charming that the kid had to learn things his own way and his, parental figure were completely pointless for the lesson.
Yeah, pretty
Well,
much.
apparently they sent him out on the errand that led him going to the library, so
Which
he gets
is really, really
But that-
stupid.
but that's
you
not-
think that a movie like this would use some characters that are metaphor for the father figure and the mother figure, but no. Just whatever. Whatever. Bugger off.
And of course, allow me to bring up, again, the elephant in the room that Doug also
We will
brought
have
up.
so much sex tonight.
Yeah. Allow me to bring up the elephant in the room, which Doug also brought up. Remember, this was mid 1994. There was no internet back then. So in order to get all that knowledge about statistics, obviously he had to read books. So he was already a bookworm.
I think the message
Oh, but
of
don't
this
you see,
movie
Pedro,
is
he
more
wasn't-
narrative instead of statistics, because statistics was like learning, suggestic language and stuff like that. Books in sense of a narrative term. That's what.
They should have specified then.
And no!
That's actually what Adventure says at the very beginning when they meet him.
No! Yeah. Think of this whatever way you want, but apparently the movie's implying that they
Everything was
transcended
real.
dimensions.
Is the movie trying to tell us that if we go to sleep, our cartoon character friends will come to life or some shit?
That's
Well,
some
apparently according
poltergeist
to stuff
shit
like
right
Toy
there.
Story, I guess that's sort of stuff whenever we aren't looking.
Wonder if Patrick Stewart was in anything animated that was good.
You know, I'll give it
he was Dwebs. He was the boss of Stan in American Dad.
I forgot. I forgot also. Where's
kissy.
Where's the clip where Patrick Stewart plays that fake Captain Picard gym training thing?
So let me get this straight. Now we have 20 minutes of credits.
20 minutes?
Okay, how much longer is this? Hold on, let me check.
7 minutes.
Oh, never mind. I'm fuck. Whatever. It's over. Thank God.
Let me see if there's
So,
a
final
sticker.
thoughts. This movie aged terribly. I didn't remember it being that bad. But my nostalgia blinded me again. Fuck me.
Oh, it's okay, Theo.
The score is fine, but I still like the 80s song in the middle. So, there's that.
The problem with that song is that, the woman singing it has a great voice, but the lyrics are just bland as fuck. There are miracles waiting, so keep concentrating. What the fuck does that even mean?
I think it's a charming enough song. It's not as memorable as, say, My Heart Will Go On, but I guess if he listens, then I'd probably memorize it.
Alright, final thoughts.
All
Go
right,
ahead. Carry on.
Creeps, since you're the new
Oh, go ahead.
to this movie, tell.
It's rubbish. Next.
Pedro?
What do I've said? And aside from the fact, yeah, the score is great, but aside from that, the animation is also pretty nice. But aside from that, yeah, it's boring. The characters are all flat. The message and the overall introduction to the books is horribly executed. And again, I was actually the target audience for this because again, I as a little kid went to see this movie in the theater. So I was apparently the target audience for this movie, and I was so bored that I didn't even give two shits or even think twice about what exactly where all these book characters came from. So no, sorry Ted, you failed. You failed completely. Sorry Ted.
Ted Turner failing at actually amusing children.
Yeah, like he always does. Anyway, yeah, that's my 2 cents. Go ahead, Jova.
Yeah, then again, I guess to be fair with me, I seen this movie a few times, maybe only really two really come to mind. And well, yeah, this movie is nothing to write home about. It definitely borders more on the bad trash side, but I won't call it a downright terrible movie. I mean, don't get me wrong. The plot is paper thin, no pun intended. It's got no spine, no pun intended. And, it just feels, well, you can literally judge it by its cover, okay, pun intended.
Yes, all of those puns were intended. Don't listen to him, he's lying. All of those free puns were intended.
But yeah, I mean, it's the thing that bugs me the two things that bug me most about this movie are the wasting of its glorious cast, and secondly, the fact that it wastes such a great concept, and there are so many ways it could have been done better. Although, I get the feeling that Ted Turner just wanted to teach a moral, and he thought, I'll just throw in some book stuff. And you can't do that, Ted. I mean, why not just make XPs of the tales if you're not even really going to try and advertise books? And what exactly was the moral? Reading will help you face your fears, or face your fears in general? You kind of got that messed up, too. That said, I do find some factors of enjoyment in this. Maybe laughing at how bad it is, but the animation's nice, and... Okay, yeah, a lot of it has to do with just laughing at how bad this movie is. And, hearing all these cast members together, these particular ones, is interesting. And hey, I'll give Patrick Stewart this, he at least does well enough, and it's nice to hear him doing something different, a much different tone and accent of voice. And of course, as said before, the soundtrack and music is amazing as usual with James Horner. 1, 2, or 3 jokes worked. And yeah, it's a movie with animation that's just below Warner Bros. And Disney at the time. So, yeah, if you're really a film buff, I guess give it a look. Otherwise, I'd suggest just getting the soundtrack and maybe looking at the movie on mute. And making your own story, because that's honestly what I think this movie is. It's literally a blank slate that you could literally just make your own story and voices with and make it more appealing, God knows. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, my thoughts,
Yeah.
Overall, I mean, yeah, sure, give it a watch.
Yeah,
but
it's like Doug
don't
said.
expect anything miraculous.
Yeah, it's like Doug said. This is pretty much a film fart. It happens, it's unpleasant, but you immediately forget about it right after it. I mean, seriously, does this movie have any amount of creativity or any kind? There's no spark. It just kind of hinges along. there's no sense of wonder and adventure, which for a book that's trying to make you, invested in the wonder and sense of adventure that books have, it's pretty much a death sentence right there. So
Also, this film apparently has 2 lyrical tunes.
oh yeah, must have been in the credits, but I logged out the movie already, so whatever. This movie sucks. The end.
You too, Tio.
Actually, Tim already said it.
I already said, but pretty much this movie aged terribly. I remember it much better. Blinded by nostalgia, it's all my fault.
That's okay, Tio. I mean,
that's okay too. Don't worry.
it's fun to look back at a film that made you smile as a kid, and hey, treasure the memories.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so everybody. I guess that we're done.
Enjoy the rest of the credits because there's no extra credit scene where Nick Fury tries to recruit the books for the Avengers. So tough luck.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this one song. Okay, this song.
Actually, you just brought up a good thing. Actually, the Marvel movies. Those movies will get people interested in reading Marvel comics.
Well, audience, it was quite a time we had riffing on this movie, and I hope you
enjoy the rest of the.
Tune in for the whatever next Joe Johnston movie we do. Or
See ya.
See you then.
Enjoy the song.
See you, everybody.